to my channel, Statements by Rainbow. So today in this video, I wanted to talk about generational cycles or generational curse, generational baggage, however you like to identify it. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Me personally, what made me decide to want to talk on this topic, I was personally looking at some of my own ways, some of the things I've been through or going through with myself and family members and stuff like that. And it just got me to thinking about it, as far as we all deal with certain things, and it's sometimes because of generational baggage, plain and simple. So first thing, what's generational baggage, cycles, curses, or whatever? Everybody, as I said, identify it as something different. It could be a bad thing, it could be a good thing, but generational curses or cycles or baggage is something that we inherit from our family or people that raised us and that we've been around, growing up over the years. And it doesn't matter if you're 10 years old, 15 years old, 25, 55. There's going to be certain things that stick with you that you have inherited being around, and or not only being around, but also just having the same blood running through your veins as your mom, your dad, grandma, and granddad, uncles, and so forth. That some of the things you don't actually recognize it till maybe someone mentions it, or you really sit down and get to thinking about different things, and you're like, you know what? My mom used to do this when I was younger, and now here I go. I'm doing it too. So, how does it play a part of your life? How? I know a lot of the times how you interact with people, how you deal with situations with people, at your everyday life, your love life, how you spend money, your mental health, how you feel about yourself, as well as your finances, your feelings, your attitude, and, addictions. So it has a lot. You look down and you think about some of the things that is going on in your family health wise. Some people bipolar, ADHD, ADD, schizophrenic, different things like that. That it's been passed on, or it might have skipped generations, but it's been passed on. And that's one of the things when we go to the doctor. The doctor asks you, especially the first initial visit of certain type of doctor's appointments, they ask you your family history. They want to know, does anybody suffer? And they usually stick to the basics: your parents and your grandparents. The parents of each of your parents and stuff like that, and siblings. Does anyone suffer from heart attack, strokes, cancer, diabetic, mental illness, issues with vision, different things they ask. And this is because generational generational stuff that is going to pass down. There's some things, there's no way to avoid it. Some things is easier to avoid than, of course, health issues. One example I would say, eating, especially, sorry, in the African American community. Great grandma, she used to fix the pigtails with, she using all the vinegar, the hot sauce, and she cooking the collard greens with the fat back in it, and she seasoning it up, and she got the mashed potatoes with a bunch of butter and salt and pepper and all these different things in it, with the bacon bits, all this different stuff she's putting in it. So, it tastes good. It tastes good. So she passed it on down to mom. So now mom cooks like this. Generational cycle. Grandma got high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetic. Mom, she's cooking the same way. Now child, it skips mom, comes to child. Child cooking like, grandma doing the same thing. And we have to sometimes break these cycles. It may seem good, and this is sometimes all that you know. So this is some things that you do. You know what I'm saying? You like, grandma did it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Why I can't do it? But to live healthy lifestyles and healthy lives, we have to break some of these generational cycles. We got to break them, because if you're looking at certain things, you will sit here and wonder, why am I going through certain particular things in my life? Why? Like, why? Or somebody sit here, you're having a conversation with somebody that you're friends with, and they might put out there that, you know what, you always lying. Why do you lie so much? And you're like, what? Huh? You in denial. You don't want to admit to it. Or what, you do admit to it. Look, this is just how I am. You're going to accept it. If you don't, you can kick rocks. That ain't good. That is not good. Not one bit. So you continue to be a liar because you've been doing it for so long that you don't want to change. You don't think you can change. You don't feel the need to change. Or nobody else has called you out on it. So it's cool. The family, everybody know. Everybody know I lied. So they'll figure it out on their own. No, 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 no. Fix yourself. Like I said, we all have some type of baggage. Another example, this is one I use quite frequent with people, is this is not to offend anyone that's watching by far. Before I put it out there, I lived in the projects with my mom from the age of 5 to 17, and then moved in at the time with the best friend and stayed there for another year. So this is not to put anybody down. But you have an issue, you have a thing. Grandma lives out the projects. Grandma been living out the projects since she was probably 19. Okay, grandma's sick. She got her kids. One of her kids done had a kid. Blah blah blah. And so grandma done passed on. So now daughter is living in the Saints and took over the project home with their child. And maybe mom has found her a boo, so she moves out. So now her child is a teenager or at a certain age that she can take over the home now. So now they're staying in the project home. And then it's like a repetitive cycle that goes on. And like I said, this is not to offend anyone, but why is it just this let's keep going that everybody's staying in the projects versus someone stepping up to the plate to rent an apartment, buy a house? And you may mention it to one of these people, and they get your attitude with you. They like, ain't nothing wrong where I live at. Like, I got a place to stay. Like I said, it's nothing wrong with it. But my personal thought process is, if everyone's staying in this one apartment over 10, 20, 30, 40 years, this same project, apartment, house, however you want to call it, what about the teenager out there that got pregnant, maybe 19 years old, then got pregnant, mom then said, you can no longer live here. You have to go. So they go apply for this public housing, and they're on a waiting list. And they're on this waiting list a year, 2 years. Sometimes the waiting lists be really long because you got somebody like you that you've been in it. You have time to establish yourself. This child is just trying to find out what life is about and needs to start. This is the foundation to trying to have a baby and different things like that. But because your whole family just decided they didn't want to move out, they're gonna still stay in this one apartment. Like, why? My personal thought: generational curse, generational cycle. Which that was one of the things for me that I didn't want to do unless I had to. Which like I said, I grew up in it from a little kid. I lived in it from elementary to high school. That I told myself that I didn't want to do it. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. You do what you got to do. But for how long do you do that? And so I vowed to myself that when I had my son that I didn't want to do that. That's just me. So it's different type of generational cycles that go on in this world, and we might not recognize it. And so you need to look at it. Look at it before it's too late. It's never too late per se, unless you die or certain people just don't deal with you no more. But why wait if you can fix it now? Because it ain't an overnight process. First identifying what the issue is. It's going to take identifying it first. What are the issues? You might not figure them all out right then and there, but pick out two. I'm sure you know two, unless you just don't know yourself or you're not around nobody that's telling you about yourself. And this doesn't matter where you're at in life. Whether, you work at a 7-figure company of your own or whether you work at McDonald's. It doesn't, or in between any of that. We all pick it up. Matter of fact, move on that. Another generational curse example. Your mom has a seven-figure business, making money. She's been running this business 10 plus years. She got all kinds of people working under her, and you're used to her providing for you and doing things for you. Then you got your dad, works for a wonderful company, bringing in the bucks, and you ain't never had to work for nothing. So you expect everything to be given to you. Then you have kids, and my mama don't work, but she always kept nice things on us. Hey, we always had nice things, so why do I need to work? That ain't it. That's break it. Break it. What if you lose it? What if go bankrupt? Something happens. Then you're pushed to step into the reality, and you lost. So some of the things I also want to talk about is, like I said, how to break. First, identify what the issues are. If you believe in prayer, pray. Pray. Talk to God. Tell Him, or whomever you pray to, talk to them, and ask them to help you with the things that you're dealing with. Ask them to break those curses and those cycles or that baggage that you're dealing with. Pray for your family members, not just yourself. Pray for others, strangers, enemies, whoever. Pray for these people. Manifestation. You got to pull it in, and you're gonna have to work hard, because it's not, like I said, it's not gonna be easy by far, because this is something that's been going on for years and years and years, centuries. So if it was that easy, you wouldn't even be dealing with some of these things, because they would have broken it a long time ago. So work hard, dedication, and also commitment, and taking responsibility of all of it. Ain't just on them. Some of it plays a part on yourself as well. Also, you're going to have some faith, and you may need some professional help, or you're going to have a support system, to help you with some of the things. Like I said, some of the things you might not identify with easily as others may, who's outside of yourself, can let you know this is what you be doing, this is what you got going on. So, I hope that some of those things help, and y'all see a difference. Like I said, take it one step. Some things is going to be easier to fix than others. Some might not get fixed. Who knows? But working towards trying to fix them is like one of the greatest things that you can do. Release some of that stuff. Release it. You don't need it. It ain't yours. Give it back. Give it back. Ball it up. Give it back to the universe. It ain't yours. You don't have to have it. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about was a biblical example for those who read the Bible or have read the Bible and know what I'm talking about. As far as Abraham and his family, they are like one of the number one examples of a generational curse. Abraham, he married more than once, and then he felt ashamed about it. So one of his wives, he would say his sister, because he didn't want to get in trouble. And so he done had kids, and did one of the kids and did the same exact thing. And, multiple wives and so forth and so on. And for a lifetime, it affected their decisions. And so even went down as far as, so one of the other kids wasn't liked by his siblings, that they literally tried to kill him. So they didn't kill him. They ended up selling him to slavery and lied about it for 20 years. Like, really? Okay, so another thing, the different types of cycles or curses or baggage, that different things that you might not look at as have something to do with the generations. Greed, jealousy, laziness, gambling, being stingy, pornography, incest, poverty, lust, fornication. They even listed, when I was reading up on it, homosexuality. I don't personally go with that one, but I can get it. The shoe don't fit for everyone, but I can get it. Adultery, sexual abuse, rape, being unforgiving, having bitterness, hatred, rage, violence, aggressiveness, seeking revenge, murder, Fear of failure, fear of people, being fear of the dark, fear in the dark is actually something they had listed. Being scared of heights. That's me. Scared of the unknown of what can happen in the world. Um, Substance abuse, whether illegal drugs, prescription drugs, having addiction, alcohol, uh, smoking, indulging in a lot of caffeine, or overeating, being rebellious, being stubborn, too prideful, disobedient, being into horoscopes, psychic readings, witchcraft, divorces, not keeping agreements or promises, not having any type of faith, being in cults, part of false religions. Of course, I'm reading off my notes. Being critical of others, belittling people, joking others at their own expense, righteousness, being cold-hearted, possessive, loneliness, moodiness, depression, self-hatred, suicide, delusions, nightmares, lying, cursing, slandering others' name, gossiping, bipolar, personality disorders, obsessiveness, compulsive, they even listed autistic, like I said earlier, ADD, ADHD, cancer, heart disease, kidney stones, stomach problems, migraines, and even headaches. Now, I listed quite a few things. Now, like I said, go back and look. One of the things I read was write down a family tree. Of course, put yourself, siblings, your mom, your dad, grandparents, uncles, their kids. Go down and with each of these people, list the different issues that they have. And then you might not know all of them yourself, so you might need to call somebody and write, ask them some questions and jot down some things. And then come back to yourself and write down. And you got to be honest. This is for you. It ain't for nobody else. Nobody has to necessarily see it or know about what you're doing. But this is for yourself to help you. So you got to do whatever you can when it comes to helping yourself. So list down all of the issues. I personally have one time called my closest friends, called coworkers that went to coworkers that didn't even like me, and I had a book and I wrote down, what do you think of me? Tell me what words come to mind when you think of me. Like, what was your first thought when you met me? What do you think now? Some of my traits, and I want you to be honest. And like I said, some of these people didn't even like me, but it wasn't about them. It was about me figuring out some things about myself that I might didn't know. Also, it is wonderful to have friends and be in relationships with people that's going to be honest and tell you about yourself. One of the things I love about my wife, she be telling me, and I ain't gonna lie, but a lot of times she ain't lying. If you watching, you don't be lying. But it's tough when you hear certain things about yourself. And like I said, I'm the first one to say, oh, this is just me. That's me. But when I sit back and think about what's being said or what's being done or look at certain things that has happened in my life, I can say, you know what? I know where that come from. And it's crazy because I just reconnected with my dad and talking to him. And then, of course, the things I got from my mom over the years of talking to her, looking at certain things, and different family members telling me different things that, like, Lord, even though my dad wasn't around, I still picked up things because of him. Whether my ways or just because of him not being around, the ways that I am. Different ways that I am because now that he is around. So I do hope this helps someone. And like I said, please work on it. We all have it, So please like this video. Please comment. Please like, comment, share. And tell me what y'all think about this video. Tell me what videos you want to hear, want to see. Give me some suggestions. I see my little 28 followers, subscribers. But I don't be seeing 28 likes though. Where y'all be at? Y'all scared to push a button. And you push the button to push play, but you can't push the button to like. can't push the button to share it to a friend. Some of this stuff be important. I be like, I know I'm new to the YouTube thing, but I'm really be trying to be a little bit of everywhere because I want this channel to personally be for everyone, to reach everyone in some aspect, whether it's to put a smile on your face, whether it's to bring some type of education to your life, or, some type of inspiration. So, again, like I said, please like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe too if you ain't already subscribed. Y'all have a good day and thank you for watching.